Morning, guys. Welcome to Saturday morning. So, 16 days to go on the Kickstarter. Almost at the halfway point, which is really cool. We're 30% funded, so look, I would love if you guys go and check it out. Hopefully the videos that I've been posting have been giving you a little bit of insight into the journal and the journey that we're going on with it. All I can ask, check it out yourselves, recommend it to your friends, come and have a look, watch the videos, have a read about what the journal's about, and if you like the idea, jump in and hit that green button. Every pledge helps me turn this into a reality. So we've looked at feel, we've looked at think. Today we're going to look at do. Do is where a lot of people stall. Do is where we get everything out of our head and we turn it into action. Now, one of the things with action, and I think this is what freezes a lot of people up, is when we have ideas, when we have these feelings and we apply the logic to the feelings and we work out what is important to us and what we want to do, we tend to have this big picture view. Now, as an example, take travel. Okay, how many of us sit there each day at work and go, you know what, I can't wait for my holidays. I'd really love to go see. I want to go visit. We're caught up in everyday stuff. We work to earn money, we look after our families, we pay the bills, we do everything we need to do. And quite often it's that thought of that dream holiday that really kind of keeps us going on a day-to-day basis. But we work in a big picture. So for many of us, those dream holidays never come about. And travel is a good example for do because one, it's enjoyable. Two, you can break it down really easily. So do is about creating action in your life. Do is about taking these big pictures, feeling the emotion around them, breaking down the logic to work out what the situation is. But then what you need to do is you need to create small, simple action. Let's look at travel as the example of breaking this down and creating simple steps. Okay, so we have this vision, this dream of your holiday. Okay, now one thing with dreams is that until you start setting goals, it's only ever going to remain a dream. Okay, I've used this myself and a couple of my testers actually did. The first part of your journey in your dream holiday is choose a destination. Quite often we have so many destinations that we don't pick any of them. So what you need to do is choose a destination and go with it. Once you've made that choice, don't look at anything else, all right? So you've made your choice. Now what's the next thing you need to do? Well, I need to book time off. So go to your boss and say, hey, I'm taking these dates off. Please lock me in to take leave. So that's done. Once you've booked the time off, you're committed. These dates are happening. So then what do you need to do? Well, you need to book flights. If you're going to travel, you can sit there and go, I'm going to New Zealand. Don't wait until the last minute to book flights. Get in and book flights now, because now you've put money on the line. Now you have committed yourself financially to making this trip. Now look, trips are not always cheap, so maybe you do have to save, but at least getting in and getting your flights booked, you've spent the money, make it happen. So each step moves along. Okay, I'm traveling, I've got my flights. What do I need to do now? Going overseas, I need travel insurance. We have the internet. Get in there and start looking at quotes on different travel insurance. Talk to friends who travel and go, hey, I'm doing this, can you recommend anybody? Get your insurance done. Now each step is committing you more and more, but each step is creating goals, and each step is something that you're ticking off to reaching that final goal. And this is the thing, it's still big picture, but you're breaking the big picture down into small steps. And eventually what will happen, you'll go on your trip, you'll have a ball. It may be everything you dreamed of, it may not. Eventually you'll come home and you go, you know what is my next step? And there's nothing there. And that's when you've reached your big picture. You won't even realize it, but you've completed this loop. You've completed your big picture dream, and you just did it step by step. So travel is a good example on breaking it down, but as I said, you can use this across anything. Now, a book that I read that has had a huge impact on the development of the journal is Getting Things Done by David Allen. I recommend it to anybody. It's a fantastic book. David mentions two really good suggestions that anybody can implement in their life straight away. Number one, sit there and ask yourself, what can I do now? Simple. Don't go big. Simple step. You can do it right now. Get it out of the way. The second question is, can I do this action in under 2 minutes? And the premise of it is that if you can, do it now. It will actually take you longer to think on, write down, and plan to do the action later than it will to do it right now. So this was kind of the final piece for the journal. I'd already been doing it, but reading his words in the book just kind of slotted that final jigsaw piece in. So that's what I started doing. I sat there one day, I'd been writing emotionally, I'd been detaching and looking at the logic, and I had been writing down actions that I could take. Now, I was ignoring a lot of them, and that's another thing that we do. We go, I should do this, and then we don't do it. So, on the page one day, I wrote, what is my next action? I just wrote one thing, and this is the thing with do. We go down the rabbit hole, we look big picture. Now, it's all good and well to break it down, but quite often when we break it down, we give ourselves a ton of steps. And that can be just as bewildering because it's like, well, I need to do this, and I need to do this, and I need to do this, and I need to do this. You need to focus on one action. You may need to reverse engineer it and break it down to work out what that first action is. But by writing this in your journal and creating that first action, what you will start to see is that as you complete the first action, your cycle restarts. You'll go back to feel. You'll feel a sense of accomplishment because you've crossed that off. From there, the emotional will progress. You'll reassess the logic of it. Well, I've done this, so what is the situation now? And more action will start to write itself on the page. Now guys, as I've said, this is not necessarily an easy journey. Whether you're looking at the challenges in your life or you are looking at the inspiration and the motivation to reach for more, you still need to approach it from a practical perspective. But as you go through the method, as you go through the process, this will get simpler. One thing I noticed was as I started to tick actions off, when I went through the process, actions started to write themselves quicker because I'd started creating a bit of momentum. But what I started to notice is that one day would focus on one thing, and focusing on that one thing would create action for that day. The next day I might write on something completely different, but that's what I wrote on that day. So guys, you can apply do and the Feel, Think, Do journal to any aspect of your life. Work, relationships, travel, just dealing with the clutter in your mind, dealing with paying the bills, dealing with promotion, dealing with study, dealing with breaking up in a relationship, or dealing with trying to create a new relationship. The journal and the method of Feel, Think, Do, you can use it in any aspect. The process is the same, it's just up here that changes. So guys, that's do. So thank you for watching. Guys, check out the Kickstarter. I'd really love you to. Hit the pledge button. If you know someone else that could use this journal, even if you don't think that maybe you're a journaler, put them onto it. Or better still, buy them a coffee. Not a coffee, a copy. Buy me a coffee. But there's nothing better than giving a gift. And if you know someone that you think is struggling, come in and pledge. Get a copy and give it to them. Help them start their journey. So the next videos, look, Some of it's going to be public, a lot of it is going to be for the backers, because this is a journey that I'm sharing with them on how this all creates. But I'm going to actually start looking at the layout of the book and how each section gets applied within our lives. I'll show different scenarios, and this is where you guys will hopefully get to jump in and go, you know what? That's what I'm dealing with. Not so much this at the moment, but I can relate to that. And that's why I want you to come check it out. Because we have this stigma of journals, like, oh, diaries. No, this is a very practical journal that will help you in any part of your life. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Check out the Kickstarter. Kickstarter.com, just type in Feel, Think, Do. Have a read through the rewards. I've got some really cool rewards there, and hit that pledge button.